In this episode, we're going to show you how one of the scariest movies of all time earned that title, without marketing itself as a horror movie. This is why The Exorcist is iconic. Director William Friedkin insisted that he never intended to make a horror movie. I've never thought of it that way, and I didn't approach it that way. It's a story about the mystery of faith. But despite this, The Exorcist is considered one of the greatest horror movies of all time. So, how did it earn that title? Let's take a look. The horror movie posters of the previous decades were very cartoonish and colorful. They made it very clear that what they were advertising was fiction and out of the ordinary. For the most part, these films were seen as shallow popcorn flicks with no real cultural value. Maybe this ideology contributed to the filmmakers' refusal to categorize it as such. The task of designing the now infamous movie poster was given to Bill Gold. I'd been specifically told by William Friedkin and Warner Brothers that we must not use an image of the girl possessed or show anything that had any hint of religious connotation. So he whipped up a couple of first drafts. Well, he definitely followed their instructions, so much so that it didn't even feel like they're advertising the right movie. The image of a smiling Reagan was too misleading and would have confused families looking for a wholesome time. The bedroom door was a little closer, but the bubbly Gil Sans bold font still made it feel like a kid's movie. So Gold went back to the cutting board and chose a frame from the movie, the moment when Father Merrin is standing in front of the McNeil home. This scene was inspired by The Empire of Light, a series of paintings by René Magritte. The use of intense contrasts between light and dark is a technique called chiaroscuro, a method used in a lot of Roman Catholic paintings, a subtle nod to the religious theme. This image is so effective because it emphasizes the battle between good and evil and the darkness that lives within all of us. It instills a sense of mystery in the viewer and makes you want to find out who this man is. Where other horror movie posters at the time featured screaming faces and terrifying monsters, The Exorcist chose to show less to make you want more. You can see its influence in modern spiritual horror films that use the same basic elements of a silhouetted form headed towards a mysterious light. Dan Perri, the designer of the film's title sequence, didn't want to use the same font from the novel the movie was based on. The book featured very prominent title treatment, but I felt the film required something a lot more elegant. He chose Weiss initials, a font that looks like something you might find used for a Bible, and coated it in crimson red to further hint at the sinister themes of the film. This simple yet haunting title treatment was another way The Exorcist set itself apart from the fantastical and illustrative titles of previous horror films. In 1973, Warner Brothers only released The Exorcist in 26 American theaters because they didn't expect the movie to do well. But after word got out that people were fainting and vomiting during screenings, people began flocking to the theaters to see if they could handle it.
I want to see if it's going to make me throw up.
The film's success inspired many knockoffs, like 1974's Beyond the Door.
See what I mean?
And it inspired more movies about demonic possession. You can see how after The Exorcist, movie posters started shifting away from color and using more black and dark, moody imagery. The Exorcist was a success because it caught audiences off guard in every possible way. By packaging itself as a serious film, it drew the attention of the Academy, earning 8 Oscar nominations and 2 wins, a first for horror. This showed the general public that a graphic and shocking film could also be a well-crafted one. And whether or not you believe Friedkin's claim,
Blatty and I never spoke about making a horror film.
The Exorcist redefined the horror genre, simply by being unexpected. What are your favorite horror movie logos? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like Gamma Ray on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube.